All right, here we are on the last of the Stand Tall series sermons. So I'm going to recap this last one for you. It was Hallowed Families and New Life. And in the Hallowed Families and New Life sermon, we talked about how incredibly important families are to God. In the very last chapter of the Old Testament, in Malachi 4, verse 6, he is encouraging that we need to turn the hearts of fathers back to their children, children back to their fathers. And it is so important to God that he actually says this is the last thing before the 400 years of silence before the coming of Christ, the Messiah. And so we started off with valuing children and losing self. Why is it so important for us to have well-structured families? Well, the whole aspect of family is that God has created it to be something of a discipleship tool where we learn to lose ourselves, to deny ourselves, to take up our crosses and follow Christ. We learn that we can't live for ourselves anymore as parents, as a husband, as a wife, but we're living for another, and we have accountability to another to serve that other person. And families only work right when we're serving one another. And so we not only learned that God has all these household codes throughout the New Testament about how husbands and wives relate and parents and children, but we also see that he gives these great encouragements of how incredibly important children are. In Psalm 127, we see that children are a heritage from the Lord, a reward, like arrows in a quiver. And so he describes how amazing we should think kids are. Oftentimes in our society, we think of children as an inconvenience, not as a reward. So this is a challenge for us to change the way we think and feel. And then we move from there and we talk about how bad it has become in our society that children are not valued to the point that we have this abortion self-lie. And so abortion in our culture has become such an issue. And we talked about the biblical reasons that the Bible is actually very much against abortion because of the value of that human life in the womb. And the Bible does say that it is a human life. And so we move from the biblical arguments to a logical argument, which you'll find in your packets as you go through the curriculum. And I encourage you to work through that there in your curriculum. Also, we have the final culminating point. What does God want from our families? He wants to create godly offspring, like Malachi says. And so the goal is generational faithfulness. He wants us as Christian parents to teach the faith to our kids, to model the faith for our kids, and to really show priorities in our lives that show how incredibly important God is, and to have our kids catch those priorities as they live alongside with us in the most important kind of discipleship, just life on life within our families. So I pray that you have a great final session in Stand Tall, and may God bless you as you move forward to stand tall in this culture, in this life, for God. See ya.